up. Don't be used as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up.
What is the worst relationship advice you've ever heard or received?
Find someone who loves you more than you love them.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Great. Good answer. All right. Question number 2. What's the best relationship advice you've ever heard, received, or given?
Make a list of the things that are truly important for you to find in a partner, and then be that list.
Hey, what's going on, y'all, man? It's another show. Ola and his podcast, Big Dog. Got my man Ola. What's up, baby? Chilling, man.
Hey, how's everything?
Everything's good. Hey, listen, man, we're going to dive right in. Check this out, man. We got a topic we've been discussing for the last, 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been some time.
Just kind of want to make sure we actually have some good concepts to, kind of give, because, I know a lot of y'all been hitting us up. Y'all like kind of the perspective that we give, man. So we really about to dive into this, man. But before we do, and we appreciate the subscribers, supporters, man. What do they need to do?
Hey, as always, make sure that y'all like, make sure that y'all comment below, subscribe in the corner, and share this. Appreciate everything that y'all do. Let's keep it rolling. We're going to keep it rolling for y'all. Let's go.
And the things we talk about, listen, man, I know we ain't going to be the biggest fans of everybody, man. A lot of y'all going to disagree.
Yeah, we're going to get some haters.
Disagree.
Some lovers.
It's just, man, we instead of us sitting around just talking about it, let's talk about it with other people and see what they think, man.
Absolutely.
So, what we can really diving into is a lot of things I find as people I've been talking to is about separation, right? So, a lot of, relationships don't last.
Yeah, separation is tough.
Yeah, and to this point, right, some relationships last long, some don't. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Right? You've been through a few relationships, and we all get into it with the right mindset that why we want it for the long haul in hopes. But there's a lot of conversations that don't happen before we even get to that point.
Absolutely.
We get into it, we meet somebody, right?
Yeah.
You're interacting,
You got the butterfly feelings,
Woo!
Everything's good.
You feeling good, everybody feeling great. 3 months down the road, you starting to see red flags.
Stand this motherfucker.
And you already given up. You know
Right.
why? It's conversations that never happen. True. Man, I'm gonna hit with this, and if you stick with us after this, I know you ready for this.
Yeah.
Brother gave me some light. He said, most people think most marriages or relationships end because of finances or infidelity.
That's what I thought.
That's the conversation everybody has. Those are the number one reason for divorce or separation.
Yeah.
This brother said, nah, it's the lack of communication of the things that are going to happen, of the difficulties, of the commitment that you're both about to embark.
To both parties.
Yes, think about it. Bro, we as humans are built for diversity, trials, tribulations. We've experienced this since the birth of man.
True.
Think about it. When we get to finance, you ever been in a financial situation that, times were rough?
Absolutely.
Did you ever give up?
No.
Did you quit?
No.
You know why? Because you can't, big dog.
Yeah, you ain't got no choice.
You ain't got no choice.
Yeah.
You ever been in a relationship with somebody and you still had a few things that was a little struggle, but y'all never really talked about, hey, babe, if we experience this financial difficulty, this is what we need to do. Did you ever do that?
No.
I've never done that, big
Never
dog.
done
That was
that.
I loved it when he said it.
Yeah.
So think about it. If you never had that conversation, when you get to that point, what happens?
Yeah.
You don't know what to do.
It's easy to give up.
It might not be you.
Yeah.
It might be the other person. So, or think about it. Right? Infidelity happens. Let's say it's not you. Let's say it's the young lady. Let's say y'all been together 8 years.
True.
Right?
Good long time.
Now,
yeah.
it happens, right? There was a lot that happened before then.
Yeah.
It happens. Y'all never had a conversation. Baby, if this happens, what do we do?
Yeah.
Did you ever have that conversation?
Never.
I never did, brother. It may hit me like a ton of bricks.
That's real talk right there, man.
So I'm going to hit this, and I want to hear your view, right, Ola, is this. I think our biggest struggle in relationships, marriage or relationships for a long period of time, is not finances, is not infidelity, because we're all built for weathering storms. It's not none of that. It's the lack of communication to those commitments when we experience those situations. What do you think?
I think, you tapped into a lot that I think is beneficial and detrimental to a relationship, which is the lack of communication, and really is more so the ability to communicate. A lot of people are very apprehensive about communicating certain things.
Yeah.
We kind of feel like, if I communicate something, I may scare this person away.
It's easy to happen.
If I don't communicate, maybe it's better because we can actually go through with the good vibes.
All right, check it out. Let me ask you a question, right? Since
Okay.
you hitting a home on with that, right? You
Yeah.
drawing it. Listen, if you met a young lady, you really feeling her vibe, you like it, you say, listen, and she like, look, you know, I've been unfaithful in the past, and there's a potential chance that I could be unfaithful again for whatever reason, right?
True.
How would you feel if she said that to you? Would you want it to and continue? Would you embrace it and say, oh, I respect her honesty, or would you say, I'm good?
Personally, I would kick rocks. I would be like, I'm done. Because I would like, you know, like the rubber meets the road type of thing. I'm like, look, I already know what's ahead of me.
Yeah.
That's not something I want to deal with.
Yeah,
You know?
I think those, and to your point, there's a lot we can speak on this, but
Sure.
we're not going to really hit. Like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
so
yeah.
much. We're not going to speak for hours on this
Oh,
because
for
we go
sure.
different ways.
Yeah.
But what I find is a lot of times people are in relationships they're unfaithful to is because they've never experienced maybe the version of you. Right, so if you meet a young lady and she says, "I've been unfaithful," maybe she's never been with someone like you.
Yeah.
So she's been unfaithful because she's yet to find that person.
True.
Right.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she may say that, but like it's like I might tell a female, look, I've been unfaithful. You know why? Because I've
Yeah.
never met a woman like you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I can say that maybe down the road, but I've never met a woman like you.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes it's good to have that conversation, but I think it's better to have that conversation when it comes to finances, things that are more. You
Concrete.
know, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
tangible,
infidelity
yeah.
is just something that's not concrete, right?
Right.
But finances, that is something concrete. We all
True.
deal with finances every day, right? You know,
yeah.
I think it deal with like if you have children and she doesn't,
Absolutely.
or she has children, you don't. I think those
True.
are conversations you need to have, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You tapped into something that I wanted to circle back on before you get on. Sometimes that level of openness does kind of frighten. Like, and I said it prior to what you even started with, was that sometimes you open up about certain things and you may scare someone away. Because I said I would kick rocks, right?
Yeah.
The flip side could be, okay, let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you've met someone that's not going to entertain, you know, your want and desire to cheat. Maybe we can discuss this. And her openness may be actually beneficial. Maybe beneficial. You
Hey,
know what I'm
homie,
saying?
listen, you made me, woo, you got, that's serious. And y'all listening, hey, look, you know what, that's great, because you know why? She's sharing something that she hasn't a fear of
Absolutely.
because she's afraid, you know, like, look at it. The fact that she even said that to
True.
you, or you said that to her means a lot. You know why? Look, I've been this way,
Yeah.
but since I've gotten to know you, I don't want to be that way.
True, yeah.
So how can we keep that from happening?
Absolutely.
Because
That's
I
powerful.
get it. It is powerful, bro.
Yeah.
Like those conversations are very powerful because you think about it. Maybe a lot of men that she's been with have been unwilling to meet that mark, and maybe she doesn't know how to look for men of greater quality, greater quantity,
Yeah.
because of her relationships with women who don't have a higher thought pattern
Okay.
on their self-awareness or self-confidence, right?
Sure.
So to them, they're looking for materialistic men
Materialistic
and
stuff,
not
yeah.
looking for men of substance
True.
and
And
quality.
she's
right?
looking for that, and so she's exposed
and doesn't
these
know
things.
how, but she sees it in you.
Exactly.
And she's like, look, I don't want to experience that life no
Yeah.
more, but I want to experience a greater life with
Yeah.
you.
I can respect that.
Man,
I can
that's-
respect that. Yeah.
Nah, so the question is, I think you recant a little bit. You might not kick rocks. Would you agree?
Yeah. I mean, I might not kick rocks. I may have a discussion about it.
I think that's
Yeah.
entitled.
And that's what you got to have.
I think it's great,
Yeah.
man. So look, check
That's
this
growth.
out.
That's
Man,
growth.
That was
Yeah.
I think so. You know, we talk about separation, right? You know, I met a few people. We've talked, and you know, we were talking. They were talking about how, like, you know, they got divorced, they separated from, you know, significant other after
True.
20 years, 15, 10 years.
Yeah.
And you got to ask yourself why, right? Ask yourself. But 99% of the time, they don't part peacefully. There's always something like normally y'all don't just sit and say, well, I just don't think we're good for each other. So let's just walk away as friends.
Yeah.
I think what happens, sometimes that happens, and if you're one of the few, I think that's great.
Yeah.
But I think what happens is that you eventually become friends after 5, maybe 6 years of being separated. That
Yeah.
y'all start like kind of like backpedaling, becoming maybe friends, right?
Yeah. You kind of circle back, but that initial break off.
Initial boy, that shit, that joint, bro.
I haven't known of a. I have had some peaceful breakoffs, right?
Okay.
But
Well-
I've had much more non-peaceful breakoffs than I've had peaceful. The peaceful ones are usually in a sense where both parties just really aren't interested,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But if there's a strong interest in one, it's very difficult for me to see a peaceful break off.
Okay.
That's very difficult.
Yeah, I think most people don't get in a relationship just to be with somebody.
Yeah.
In hopes that it fails. So they put a lot more in. One person puts more in the other. Now it could be that y'all started off just as sexual partners.
True.
And y'all just kept having great sex.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
You know, it was great. You know, or y'all just were great partying buddies.
Yeah.
Or great. You know, maybe y'all were in college, maybe whatever, and y'all got caught up. Those are hard to part ways with, because if you're in that atmosphere, groups of people, or you met them through a group of y'all.
Okay.
And that group y'all continue to
There's a
sustain.
little bit of that pressure too.
Yeah, like you know, like you don't want to break the friendship
You
up,
don't wanna break
because
the
if one of
friendship,
y'all
yeah.
go,
Yeah.
that
It kind
friendship.
of throws us off. Yeah.
So
I've been there.
You've
I've
been there.
Yeah.
So I think number one, a lot of times people part ways with a grudge, infidelity. I think that speaks for itself.
That's huge.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, infidelity creates that, because when you're unfaithful, it's hard to trust that person.
And let's clarify, because a lot of people they associate infidelity with just marriage, right? And personally, I believe that infidelity comes with a relationship, right?
Okay.
Because even in a friendship, if you have a friendship where you break that terms of friendship, there's consequences, right? And in a relationship with, you're with your partner and the partner steps out, that is infidelity, I believe. And then there's feelings involved, right? So
I'll
aspect of it as well.
I'll add something to that if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Is, which I know you don't, big dog. Is
Yeah.
infidelity just ain't from sexual perspective. See, people going to the point. People will be in relationships for 20 years with somebody who never physically cheated on them, but mentally, emotionally, they were never there.
True.
Bro, that's infidelity at its highest level.
Yeah.
See, because the reality is this: even though we weren't together, if you were thinking about somebody else, if you were over here texting and doing all these things and following all these people on social media, but you weren't complimenting me, you weren't doing things,
Yeah.
male, female, whatever,
Yeah.
vice versa.
Yeah.
Bro, that's infidelity. It's
Yeah.
unfaithfulness.
Yeah.
So you know, it's
especially if you're going out and you're seeking it elsewhere too, and that taps into, and I don't want to get too long-winded with it, about the conversation and communication, right? If you're going out seeking it, why didn't you communicate it with your partner, right?
But I give you this: if that's one thing. But if you're not spending time to compliment the person you're with, like many times I get consumed with work. So a lot of times I fail to compliment, right? Because I'm so consumed with work and
Absolutely.
grinding.
Yeah.
It's kind of like infidelity in itself. And people don't see it as that. If your commitment is to life work, a lot of times the significant person in your life only needs you to say, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And we sometimes fail to do that, right? So check it out. Now, right, let's go to here. Failure to commit to marriage. I said that as number 2 is because, right, failure to commit, right? So let's say I meet this woman.
Yep.
She wants to get married. I'm like, cool. We've been together 4, 5, 6 years, 6 months a year. Let's
Yeah.
get married.
Okay.
But I didn't commit to the longevity and term. All I did was commit to I do.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when people get caught in marriage, I think conversation is important.
Yeah.
And this goes back to communication
Yeah.
right? When you about to get married, you need to have a conversation on what I do really, 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 truly means. Would you agree?
There's a when you're driving down the road, right, and you're in traffic, there's a car right in front of you, which is one car length ahead, right?
Okay.
And then there's like 20, 30 car lengths ahead, which is like, who knows what going on, right? Most people don't look at that 20, 30 car lengths ahead. They look at the one car length.
And they don't see the braking and stuff
They don't
like
see
that.
the braking up ahead.
I got you. That's big.
And then something happens, and they're like, oh, shit. I had no idea. It's because you weren't looking ahead.
Boo, that's great. That man teach you driver ed, man.
Yeah.
God dang. Y'all ain't got a driver's permit? My man holding a class, baby. All right, number 3. Lack of fulfilling broken promises. Beauty of this is why I say, big dog, is you meet that first person.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's love. Y'all love on the phone. You ever been on the phone? You be like, hey baby, you don't say y'all
That honeymoon feeling.
Bro, that
right
honeymoon
there.
feeling. You look, bro, you 40, acting like you 18, like you in high school, and you on the phone till like 6 in the morning.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you fall asleep on the phone. You like, oh babe, I'm gonna call you tomorrow. I'm gonna call you
Yeah.
later on the day.
Yeah.
And then y'all over here talking about what you want, what you don't want. we all say that because we feeling the energy.
Yeah.
But when it's time to get serious, here we go. 2 months down the road, y'all still together. Y'all on the phone.
Yeah.
Now conversations slow down, compliments slow down. You know, I heard somebody call me. They call that Twitter phase, right? Like you get very butterfly. You know,
Okay.
butterfly.
Butterfly,
You know,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
get these Twitters. You know, you get
True.
this ooh, like you want like loving it. And then it just phases out. You know why? Because your energy high. Because you know what? Maybe you didn't have that in a while, right?
Yeah.
Man, listen.
How do we mitigate that? Is there a mitigation factor to that?
I think I absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
To your question, I think what it is you just got to be honest with yourself. You got to balance your highs and your lows.
Okay.
See, the problem is, you know, we don't balance our highs and lows. We just put that energy out. Are we feeling it? So we need you to feel it because we want this and
True,
that. We
true.
hype this and that, and then we not giving transparency.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
listen, man. If you
We just feel in a certain kind of way. We have an expectancy the other person is, and they're gonna feel it. But that fuel is very short.
and they grow in it when we decreasing it.
Absolutely.
And then, part ways with a grudge and what reasons why.
Yeah.
Man, hold on.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
keep 'em on. Yeah.
Lack of intimacy on both parts. Now check this out. I said that
This
because
is tough.
tough, boy. This is, and we ain't gonna dive too hard into this
Yeah,
conversation,
but- yeah.
but we can get a little bit think about it. Diving, you know, intimacy, man. If y'all don't know, intimacy is not sex. It
Yeah.
took me years to realize that.
Yeah.
It's connection.
Connection, absolutely.
You know, intimacy is understanding that, yo, you don't have to be the most vulnerable, you don't have to be the most perfect, but you're the person that's always there for that person when they need you.
Yeah.
Now, when I said, remember this, what I said, when they need you, right? It's not, we don't read minds. Like, I don't read my significant other's mind or someone in my life's mind.
Yeah.
I can't. It's you expressing to me and me being there for you, right? If you don't express it to me, I can't be there for you. So as a man and a woman, or man and man, whatever y'all preference is, right? Whatever your situation is about understanding how the other person thinks, how their mindset is, right? Whatever the case is. But check it out. It does not work if you don't express it.
True.
So for y'all that think that significant other yours reads your mind,
Yeah.
do they?
No, they don't. I mean, you know what? I love this topic because the intimacy, like you said, it's not purely physical. You know, a lot of times this is, I think this is as simple as giving a hug. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes.
This is as simple as, hey, are you okay? Like,
Yeah.
how's your day?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we get disconnected in a lot of what we got going on in our own lives, and we don't think about the other person's feelings. We don't think about the other person's, you know, like woes or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so we got to tap into that. And like you said, we're not mind readers, but at the same time, if we have that open level of communication, we can kind of tap into, hey, look, I see this person kind of down and out. I know what this person needs because they've communicated this before.
Yeah. Now check it out. Even too, I would tell, you know, I told somebody who was asking me about we were having a conversation about their relationship with somebody else.
Okay.
And I said, did you just walk up to him and give him a hug?
Yeah.
And she was like, nah.
Yeah.
I said, why?
Yeah.
I was like, because I you know, I've been saying this.
This has been excuses,
like,
right?
why you putting it on him?
Right.
Like, yo, stop.
But
Why-
I'll say this, though. That's tough, though. Her position, too. Because to step out of that comfort zone of seeing someone in that and then going to give that hug, that is tough. Because I know personally, I've been there where I'm like, you know, why do I need a hug? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've done this. Why do I need a hug?
Don't even matter. You
It
know,
don't matter, though.
we are so, you know,
Self-absorbed?
Not self-absorbed, not just that. Yeah, self-absorbed, selfish, whatever. I think what it is we overanalyze it. Why do we need to overanalyze what someone else needs?
True.
Right? If you see a man homeless, sleeping on the ground, now some of them you got to be careful. You scare them up. But if you see this guy literally sleeping on the street
in,
every
day in,
night, you see him. This man lays on a joint, wakes up in the morning, he got nothing. You know that. What do you don't need to wonder if what that man needs.
True.
You know what that man needs.
Yeah.
That man need a meal.
He need a meal.
He don't need no money. He need
Yeah,
a meal.
true.
Go get me. He need clothes.
Yeah.
Right? If
Yeah.
you know your lady, if you know your man, whoever it is, wherever we come from, if it's a woman or a man, if you know that other person, right, and you like, oh, they don't do this and that. What do you do? Why you don't do it?
Yeah.
Why you don't go and give that man a hug?
Yeah.
Well, hey, fellas, why you don't go and give that woman a hug just because? What's
I
the
like
what,
that.
like
I like that.
think about
Yeah.
it. How do you lose? Like, bro, how do you lose?
You
Oh,
don't.
because why? She
Ego.
because hold on. I'm gonna use this term. Y'all forgive me. Cause she bitching?
Yeah.
She bitching?
Yeah.
So fucking what?
Yeah.
Bro, like, I'm gonna tell you, so I got a 4-year-old daughter. And I have literally watched her. And I didn't understand this years ago. Didn't understand it. But I've watched her and I realized, like, a lot of men complain about women, but females are females from birth, homie, and they change. They're emotional beings from birth. And we don't sit back watching. For y'all that don't have girls, you miss out. Bro, when you do, you start realizing. But sometimes we think that somewhere when they're 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 30 and 40, they change. Yes, they mature, but they're still females. They still have emotions. And I'm not downgrading women, so y'all don't take it personal. I'm saying they are still females, and their emotions are very sensitive. I don't care how tough they are. I don't care how many tats they got on their face. I don't care how many people they did craziness to. They are still emotional beings. And a lot of times we look past it because we expect them to be tougher than what they need to be. Why? That's not like God created them to be.
Innately, that's not them.
That's not that. God never created that. You know what I'm saying? What He did, He formed them, and they, formed them, and you were formed in your mother's womb. They held you, they molded you, they breastfed you, bro. Like what? All right, let's go next, big dog. Let's go. All right,
let's keep it going.
About to get biblical, baby. All right, hold on. Listen, man. I truly believe the people that you have in your life will either benefit you or hurt you.
Okay.
I really believe it has to do with the demographic of, of where you're located, how you live, the people around you.
That's a good point.
That's huge, right?
That's huge.
Not to say that if you live in a lower demographic financially, that people are not going to give you good advice. What I'm saying is a lot of times they suffer for the same struggles you suffer. Unless you're able to think outside the box. And it does not also mean because you live in a wealthier demographic that you're going to get better advice.
Right.
That junk could be just as toxic.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, that's a huge
I think
point.
it has to do with the quality of people you bring into your life and what advice they give you. If it's about you, you're getting bad advice. It should always be about the other person. I think those people are quality people. What do you think, big dog?
Absolutely, man. I think you tapped into something that's very key. We live in a very capitalistic society, right? And here in the DMV, a lot of stuff is driven by money. You know what I'm saying? The way that you live, the way that you move, everything that you do is about how much money that you have, right? And so a lot of the influence that you're going to get from your counterparts is going to be financially driven, oftentimes, much more so than relationship driven, much more than the actual vibe that you actually have. Man. And that's going to be either detrimental or beneficial to your relationship.
Let's be honest, man. Like, do you want somebody giving you advice on how to get out of a relationship or how to make your relationship work first?
Yeah.
Now, we're not talking about if it's toxic, abusive. We're not talking if your man or woman is constantly cussing you out, throwing stuff at you, beating you up. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about where I think my man may agree. Let's know is I'm talking about you're in a situational relationship, marriage or just relationship, and all it is y'all not just getting along.
Yeah.
Y'all not seeing eye to eye. Y'all not really dating. Y'all not really having sex. Y'all like this and that. After y'all, like the first year was amazing.
Yeah.
Second year is rough, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If that's the case, first year was amazing. Wasn't no physical contact, wasn't no verbal contact, no abuse, like calling this bees and all that sort of stuff. It was just a matter of, y'all just forgot how to create that flame again, right?
Right. And then you reach out to your homegirl.
Or your homegirl, your homeboy, or vice versa. And they tell you, man, leave that joker, man. There's better people out there. Like, hold up, no. We got it this far? Nah, how do I create? Hey, bro, you need to go. You know what you need to do, bro? You need to go book some tickets at the spa.
Yeah.
You need to go sit back, relax. You need to go have a this and that. You need to go have a conversation.
Yeah.
That's the type of relationships you want. So the voices, we talked about, the voices. Outside voices. Let's go.
Outside voices, yeah.
All right, check it out. Number 7. Low self-esteem as a person. Everyone loves to feel good initially. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of times that's driven by one or is not driven by both. A lot of times that self-esteem is when you meet somebody and they make you feel better, feel great, feel amazing. It's normally driven by one form of energy.
Is that a little bit of ego, or is it an ego?
Nah, I think what it is, bro, it could be ego. I think a lot of times, like if I meet a young lady, I'm naturally hyper. I'm feeling energy. You know me, bro. And I meet a female who's kind of like,
you gonna boost her.
And I'm boosting her.
Yeah.
But she not boosting me.
True.
You know what I mean? She not me. She not, because you know what? Maybe she's not as hype. Maybe it's just like to her. It's another relationship.
It's just another relationship.
It's another situation. Yeah. And then, it feels good. She's loving it, but she don't know how to give it back.
True.
I just think, so unless you got something, we can move on.
No, we can move on with that. We can move
on.
Yeah.
So, low self as a person. But hold on, I put this. low self-esteem as a person while portraying the image of confidence.
So that I do want to tap into.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I do believe that oftentimes when, you know, and I relate this to kind of like the honeymoon phase, right? We portray this image of confidence as if we are this person that really we are not, right?
Okay.
And then later on down the road, we find that we're just really not that person, but we know what it takes to get people in. We know what it takes to reel people in because we know what people want, but we're really not that person. So in a sense, it's a bit of dishonesty. You know what I'm saying?
I totally.
Yeah.
But then you know what? Sometimes if we have not self-evaluated ourselves, bro, or really seek, and majority of people don't seek understanding of themselves.
Yeah.
They don't know how to really like grow beyond a situation.
Yeah, a
or
lot of people
beyond
don't know how to
themselves.
self-evaluate.
They don't know how to self. They always think it's the other person.
Exactly.
It's never them.
Exactly.
It's never.
They can run to the end of the road and they will always think it's the other person.
The other person, man.
Yeah.
It's not always the other person, y'all.
Let's keep it moving.
All right, man. Check it out. This is the one I want to hit. This is the home run hitter to me, man. I think y'all got a lot of jewels. Something to think about, man. If y'all like what we talking about, you think we gave some good juice?
Yeah, drop them comments in the
Man,
below.
drop
Yeah.
it, man. Let's go,
for
baby.
sure.
Let's talk about it. Let's see what y'all
Absolutely.
think, man. Give us some feedback. We do
Get
a
the
part 2,
conversation
3, 4,
started.
5, whatever you want.
Yeah.
But check it out. Committed to the energy from the beginning, but losing satisfaction in the fact that the initial desire is not a reality, right? Check this out. Committed to the energy from the beginning, but losing satisfaction in the fact that the initial desire is not a reality. You can only sustain the first 9 months for so long until the real you is birthed. Woo. Everyone loves the beauty of highs when you first meet, but no one takes into account what it takes to sustain it. Now I'm gonna say this one more time, man. I hope y'all catching what I'm saying. Like it dropped on me, man.
Yeah,
you can
that's a
only
lot.
You
That's
can
a
only
lot.
sustain the first 9 months for so long until the real you is birthed. Everyone loves the beauty of highs when you first meet, but no one takes into account what it takes to sustain it. Talk to me.
When you look on social media or you look on TV ads, you look on whatever, what do you see? You see all the beauty standards, right?
Everything right now.
You see everything that looks
Let's
great.
go, yeah.
You see everything that looks appealing, right? And this kind of dials into the movie Shrek, right?
Layers. Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Onions have layers. You get it. We both have layers.
Where they talk about onions and layers, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's deep.
That first layer, onions aren't sweet, but in a sense, that first layer, it don't burn. You know what I'm saying? You think that everything is sugar sweet, and then you start peeling them layers, and you're just like, yo, this is not what that initial layer was. A lot of times people look at that first layer and they're like, look, this is who I am, but in reality, that's not who you really are. You're not really showing who you are because you know that imagery for men, for example, is the first thing that they are attracted to.
Yeah.
Right? And so if you are able to capture them with that imagery, if you're able to capture them with the allure of who you perceive to really be, but not show who you are, then you can get by with that first 9 months. But then once those 9 months pass and that guy starts asking some questions about who you really are, then it's like the rubber hits the road.
Yeah, I think, and what made me hit this, man, would think about it, bro. I think there's a reason why pregnancies take 9 months. Like, only God created that, bro. Like, why 9 months?
Why 9 months?
I think if you think about any relationship you've been, if you lasted 9 months, you're doing well. But think about it. It literally takes at least 9 months to get to know somebody because eventually that other stuff dulls down.
Yeah.
Right? That
That's
excitement,
true.
initially, that's certain things. But guess what? At 9 months, well, guess what's birth? A baby. So
Yeah.
you impregnated whatever deception, misguidance, misconception,
Dropping
whatever,
jewels over
whatever
here.
goodness, qualities, everything you birthed within
Yeah.
inside that stomach for 9 months,
Yeah.
right? Whatever you birthed
Yeah.
is gonna come out in 9 months, right?
Yeah.
So eventually,
You're gonna show you.
the true whatever your initiation intentions were is gonna be birthed.
Yeah.
And so what I tell you, man, I encourage you, right? Because what's the harm in being you or being really honest with yourself, with other people for 9
Fear.
months?
Fear.
Man. Damn, bro.
Fear.
That's
Fear.
Man, what fear would do for you. And check it out. Fear had you trying to misguide this guy.
Exactly.
It lasts 3 months, now you're back to the same thing. But if you do it once and you keep doing once with the right people, eventually you don't.
True.
Man, listen, man.
That's what it is. It's fear, man. You know, you go through that time frame, and like you said, at the end of the 9 months, you should be able to self-identify. But a lot of times, people just, like I said, the rubber meets the road. You know what I'm saying? And you see who you really are, and it's kind of like, all right, like, where do we go from here? Like, what do we do now?
Or, hold up, you don't see who you are. You see who they are. But unless you take time, and this is what I truly believe, and I tell people all the time, when they tell me, when females talk to me about wanting to be married, I tell them, man, you need to spend time with yourself, get to know you first.
Oh, absolutely.
Because check it out, hold up. Here it is, you spend 9 months, we're going to use this, and we about to close out. Y'all check us out. We don't want to give y'all too much, we give you a lot. But check it out. Here we spend 9 months getting to know that other person, but you never spent 9 months getting to know yourself. You've been in relationship after relationship. You're asking for this and asking for that, but you never took time for yourself. Man, let me tell you something. If you want to start parting ways with a grudge, to start parting ways peacefully, spend 9 months with yourself. No dating, no nothing, no written this, no that. Looking at your entire life, man.
Self-analyze.
And this is, I heard this brother say this, and you know, what's the brother off the one of the Tyler Perry shows? It was the guy always be wearing a comical and loud clothing, right? Meet the Browns.
Okay.
So he said, look, I'm gonna tell y'all ladies how you meet your husband. It was phenomenal as what he said. He says, all right, ladies, I'm going to tell y'all how to meet your husband. They was going crazy. He said they were going crazy. He said, you want an 850 credit score from him? Okay. You want to make $200,000? Okay. You want this from your man? He says, but guess what? You got to start doing that if that's what you want. So if you ain't making an 850 credit score, why you want him to do it? You ain't making over $200,000. Why you want him to do it? You ain't doing this. So guess what? You better, if you make 40,000, you better be content with me and a man at least make 40,000. If you got a 700 credit score, you better hope a man make at least a 700 credit score.
It's harsh reality.
It's harsh reality.
Yeah.
If you want that person to be the person you expect them to be,
Be that.
you got to be that first, man. So, and if you're not, and you got a man that's maybe a student that wants to learn, and he's willing to learn, then you gotta be willing to show him, man. Hey, look, that's all I got.
I'm gonna add a little small tidbit to that, right? You talk about 9 months in birthing of a child, which I think is very key. I think that was an excellent alley-oop to this, right? How do you go 10 plus years and not know who you've been with all that time?
Oh man, easy. Lack of honesty. Everybody, you know, a fear, you said it earlier, a fear of being who you really are.
Yeah.
Right? But also too, being selfish and hope that you being together, like your hope that you will mold, hope that you'll get to that next level, hope that, right? Without doing one thing that we talked about earlier.
True.
Communicating.
Communicate.
There got to be levels. You together 10 years,
Yeah.
you need to have that 3-year pause. Say, look, we've been together 3 years. It's time to have a conversation.
Yeah.
All right, we've been together 5. Let's have that conversation. Where are we going?
Yeah.
All right, well, what are we working toward?
What are we working toward? Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Hola.
Hey.
My man.
Hey,
Hola in this perspective, baby.
Yes, indeed.
Hope you love that. Hey, man.
Salud.
My man. Salud, baby. What they need to do, big dog?
Hey, make sure that y'all leave them comments. We want to hear what y'all got to say.
Man.
If you don't agree with Ola, if you don't agree with Iz, if you
Tell
agree with Ola or Iz, hey, either way, drop them comments below. Make sure that y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share this.
All right, man. We love y'all, man.
We love y'all.
Peace.
My observation clinically has been for a couple to maintain their relationship without it deteriorating, they have to spend 90 minutes a week together talking about their lives, about how the house is run, about what they've all been doing to keep their stories caught up, right? And then they need to spend at least one time having a date, and 2 is better. 1 is necessary, 2 is better. And so that's sort of your minimal commitment level if you don't want things to deteriorate.